What's up, everybody? It's your boy B-Dab, owner of Humble Cuts. I just wanted to get on here and introduce myself to all my subscribers and let you guys know about how I got started with my barber journey. Just to give you a little background about myself, I am the youngest of 7, and I was raised here in Manteca, California for the majority of my life. I also am a former athlete. I spent 4 years at Manteca High, another 2 at Modesto Junior College, and then I was blessed to get a scholarship to go Division I at Lamar University in Texas. Once I came back from Lamar and I moved back to California, I was kind of just bouncing around from job to job. I worked at Amazon. I did Amazon delivery, worked in the warehouse, worked at InShape, trying to do all these jobs that I wasn't really passionate about. And honestly, it kept me, going in the same loop and not genuinely enjoying what I did, and I hated every moment of it. It took me getting stressed to the point where I literally had to tell myself, I don't want to do this no more. I gotta find something, I gotta do something, I gotta switch something up. And I sat there and did research on different careers, different paths, and I actually knew a lot of people who did cut hair that were barbers. And one of the things that stuck with me is like, they always had money. It always looked like they were having fun in the barbershops. And, the majority of them told me to look into it. But, it was in one ear, out the other. And I didn't even think that I would be able to do it. But, 2 years down the line, I actually decided to pick up the clippers. What made you start cutting hair, you might ask? Why didn't you start 2 years before? Why didn't you start when people put it into your ear the first time, you might ask? And to be completely honest, it just wasn't that time. It just wasn't the right timing. And I was so fixated on making ends meet and being comfortable with that job that can terminate me at any time. I just think it wasn't the right time. But as things unfolded and things happened in my family, we had family emergencies and things with relocating. I think it was just that time to where I had to switch, and a conventional 9-to-5 wasn't really doing it for me. I needed to make more money, and so I reached out. I started talking to a lot of people. I started talking to a lot of the barbers that I know and seeing like, is this actually something that I could see myself doing long term? So I started cutting up my nephews, cutting up my family members, just playing around with it. And I found that I actually enjoyed doing it, and I enjoyed the conversations I was having while I was doing it. So it just kind of made sense because I would only do it on the days I was off. And I don't know if you are a man or a woman of faith, but for me, it just took me saying a prayer and really thinking, what do I want to do? How can I scale this? How can I monetize this? How can I get this to actually being a career? And is it possible? And from the research that I did, I found that it was. And I found there was an actual scalable business that I can bust my behind for 7 days straight if I wanted to. And the amount of money, there's no cap to it, right? Versus if I work at a regular job making minimum wage, I only can do 40 hours a week. There's a cap. And this guy over here could be sitting down, chilling, and I can be busting my behind, and we making the same amount of money. That never sat right with me. So I just knew like the stuff that I put into it, I knew I would be getting out. And that's what motivated me to get started with actually cutting hair. What can you do to get started today? So I can't say that this is the right way or the wrong way. This is just the way that I did it, right? So I started off with watching YouTube videos because I am a visual person. I need to see somebody do it. I need to watch it over and over and over. It's like watching film, just like in football, right? So if I knew I needed to study for a team, I need to watch their tendencies. I need to watch how they do it so I can perform to the best of my abilities. So in the same way, I looked at, cutting hair the same. So I learned, I spent the day learning drop fades, high taper, mid taper, all the skin fades, all these different things. And I'm just watching it and just keeping it, every day too, making sure it's consistent and just keeping all these different techniques in my head. But it was one guy that I watched consistently that helped me out, I would say, the most out of any of the creators. I watched a lot of Get Beamed. I did start off watching Bazio and Dre Clipper Hands and all them, but a guy named Get Beamed helped me out a lot. Watching his videos, he was really detailed and explaining why you cut this way with this hair, how you do this with that, how to do a high taper, how to be precise, how to do the different things. And he ties a lot of things into faith. So I did enjoy that aspect of his videos, and it helped me a lot. The second thing I would recommend to anybody wanting to start to cut hair is to find a mentor. You gotta find somebody in your city or somebody that you know, or a homeboy that's cutting, you know, whether if they're licensed or unlicensed. Find somebody that cuts hair that can show you, or you can go and watch and see like, oh, this is how you do this is how you do this cut. Okay, or learning about like, okay, with this texture of hair, this is how you have to cut it, or the hair's growing this way, this is what you have to do. Okay, flicking the wrist, all that different stuff. You wanna find somebody that you can watch that's gonna guide you in the right direction. Luckily, I had a homeboy that was already cutting hair, going by the name of Domingo, and he was letting me go and watch him cut hair to see how, you know, his system was, and try it out, and you know, help me with tweaking certain things. I'll send him pictures sometimes of my cuts, and he'll tell me ways that I can, you know, fix it or change it, which really did help me, like, and it still does to this day. The next thing that I would recommend is cutting everybody's hair. It doesn't even matter. Old, young, kids, you know, uncle, brother, doesn't matter. I have a lot of nephews, so I was cutting all my nephews' hair. I was, you know, reaching out to people, DMing people, talking to people, like, you know, putting myself out there to where I can get the reps in and I can learn, right? Because I think doing it, yeah, you can watch all the videos you want, but at the end of the day, doing it is gonna let you know where you're at, right? You're gonna mess up. You're gonna mess people's heads up. You're gonna, you know, learn from your mistakes. It's just, you can't be scared to get out there and try it, right? You're not gonna be Steph Curry if you never put up a jump shot. So you gotta get out there and get your reps in so you can get better, you know? And it's gonna be a continual thing throughout your whole career, right? So I would recommend getting out there and cutting everybody. If you gotta start off with free cuts, that's what you gotta do. And then, you know, $5 cuts, $10 cuts. That's how I started off. I started off giving free cuts, you know, to family members and friends. And then I went $5, you know, then after $5, $10, you know, then to 15, then to 25, you know what I mean? Like, and I tiered myself up based off how much better I was getting and the service that I was providing. The last thing that I would recommend is taking pictures and videos of everything that you do. Everything that you do, everything that you know, you like, you don't like. Take videos and pictures so you can see your progress month after month after month. You know, you never know. 6 months from that point, you can be 10 times better than you were when you started, right? I know for me, I was taking pictures and videos because my homeboy had told me to, and I didn't think I was gonna see the difference month to month, week to week. But I did. As the more of the reps that I got, the more I put myself out there, you know, and even cutting certain people, and some of the people I started cutting at the very beginning, I'm still cutting now, you know. It's like, dang, I cut their hair 10 times better now than what I started at, right? So it was a inspiring thing for me to see. Is like, dang, like I put the work in, I put the hours in, and I got 10 times better than where I was. I'm not saying I'm the best barber in the world, but the fact of the matter is I see an improvement. I'm getting better day by day. And that motivated me to keep going. One of the last things I recommend to you to do to get started with cutting hair is market yourself. A lot of people start cutting hair, but they'll use their personal page to post and to like market their cutting hair. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you really want to look more professional or actually have someone take you serious in what you're doing, you have to create a separate page, you know. And with your Instagram, say you make an Instagram, right? Connect your Instagram to your TikTok. And if you make a YouTube, your YouTube too, right? Put it all in their links. And when you're posting, make sure that you're being consistent in the things that you're doing, right? So I know when I started, I was posting on my YouTube. I take that back. I was posting on my Instagram. I was posting on my TikTok. You know, I was being consistent with putting stuff up to showcase what I can do, right? And it's people's choice if they want to mess with me or if they don't. So when I kept putting my work out there, getting better, people respect that, you know, and it looked presentable because it's like, okay, this guy is, you know, cutting out of his garage or cutting out of a suite, a private suite. This guy's getting better. This guy's got better from 8 months back, right? And I think that makes people gravitate towards you, you know, and you being organic with, like, you're getting better every day with your craft. And that helped me out a lot, you know, with me posting consistently for the past, you know, 9 months to 10 months. You know, people see the growth. People see, you know, how you're presenting yourself in a professional manner, and that's going to gravitate clientele towards you. You know, how is somebody going to be able to go and get cut by you if they don't even know you cut? You know what I'm saying? You're posting on your page every, you know, once every 2 months. You feel what I'm saying? No one's going to take you serious. So you have to market yourself. That's really important. Another question that you guys might have is, how do I get licensed? How do I get started with this? How do I get started with this journey? If I know this is a passion for me and I want to get started, there's two options, right? One, you can go to barber school, right? Barber school is a little bit expensive. That is something that I actually wanted to do. But once I didn't get the Pell Grant or a loan, I couldn't afford to just come out of pocket and pay, you know, $15,000 to $20,000 to go to school. And the schools usually are around 7 months, 6 to 7 months if you go full time. But, you know, as for me, I just figured the better financial situation for me would to be doing an apprenticeship. In my opinion, I feel like barber school is better because they teach you from the ground up. I had a little bit of experience, you know, 9 months on my own. So I feel like I was confident enough to go into a shop. So I'm actually doing an apprenticeship. But the school is going to teach you every single detail how to get better. You're going to get reps at your barber school. And, you know, if it's right for you, you know, financially, I think it's a really good option. And you're out of there within 6, 7 months and you get to go into a shop, right? You might have a little bit of debt, but, you know, you're actually in your career. Versus an apprenticeship, you know, an apprenticeship is more of like just putting you into a shop. Like, it's more for someone who has already been cutting hair, right? So you get to go in there and you get to make money, you know, you're in a shop, you know, and, you know, you still go to school. It's only, I think, once a week or once every month, but, you know, you have to hit a certain amount of hours and it's 2 years long. That's the only drawback from it. But for someone who doesn't have that amount of money to go to a school, it made sense for me. You know, the apprenticeship, and then knowing, you know, people who own shops, it made sense to me. You know, everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to have their own ideals of in situations to where, you know, hey, barber school is going to be more convenient for me. I don't care if I go into debt this much. And some people might be like, hey, I don't have that money. I got to get into a shop now and I got to make this money. I got bills to pay, right? So it's 100% on you. The cheaper option is to do the apprenticeship, because I do believe the apprenticeship that I'm doing is $2,500 versus $17,000 to go to barber school. So, you know, really, you just got to pick what's best for you and stick with it. That's all I got for you guys today. If you have any questions, DM me. Follow me on Instagram at Humble Cuts. Also on TikTok at Humble Cuts. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like the video. Appreciate you guys and see you guys on the next video.